Yo, 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 what's going on, COD Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are going to be taking a look at the upcoming KvK group going into Season 1 Plus, which is an actual big one and a little bit unprecedented because, well, I'd say unprecedented, but there has been one instance of this before. This group that we're taking a look at is going to be the 145 through 154 group. Now, you may remember this from Kingdoms 11 through 21. I got put into, I believe it's the SSS 1-28. We can confirm that here. It is. So right here you can see 11 through 21. And then 22 is where it starts off, and that goes 22 to 26. For those five, and then it's 27, etc. But this is interesting because they haven't done a group this big in quite some time. However, we're going to be going through their top stats, so we'll show you the strongest kingdoms, alliances, players, etc., the whole shaboodle. So strap in and let us get right into it by switching up some screen-a-roonies here. Okay. Now, I should mention everything here is organized as far as top down, and then we're going to also show you the group pairings that I was able to do for this group. But we'll go through each of the tabs first, and then we'll end on that one. Then I'll just kind of share some thoughts along the way. So for these 10 kingdoms, you could see here for the 145 through 154, here's your ranking. 145 at top, you could see 6.6 billion, right, for their estimated power. That's where we accumulate and just do a sum total for the top 7 alliances. And then you see a big drop, right, less than half of the power of 145, 148, 3 billion, 153, 2.4, and then you kind of have a little cluster here, right, from kind of like 2.1, 2.2 to 2.47, and then this is actually all pretty close. I mean, really, when you think about it, they're all kind of within 500 mil of each other from 3 to 10, and then you have the little breakaway from 3 to 2, and then obviously the big breakaway from 2 to 1 in rankings. But then you got 151 at 2.3, 149, 2.3, 0, 150 here at 2.2, 147, 2.1, 154, 2.0 bill, 152, 2.05 bill, and then lastly 146 at 1.97 billion, right? So that's kind of our group that we have here for the top kingdoms within. Now, what I'm going to say, and this is something I've mentioned before, is that it does confuse me a bit on why the need. Well, first off, I can understand the need from their perspective, but this to me goes to such a bigger hurdle that needs to be overcome, which is to essentially efficiently populate kingdoms, new kingdoms, appropriately in the beginning, so you don't need to put more, arguably, than 4 kingdoms into a group. And that can be done simplistically from one of the ways that we've recommended, which is, right, the current first Augerstone chapter for Season 1 is set for 7,500 players reaching level 4. What they should do is make this a prerequisite requirement prior to or before a new kingdom can be released, and raise this to 10,000 people at level 12. What this will do will create a situation where you have a higher percentage chance of having players that will continue playing the game longer if they have to reach higher levels. So what that means is you continue to populate the kingdom until you get at least 10,000 people that have hit level 12, and then you can go ahead and release a new kingdom. This will ensure, right, you have to think about it, if you're just going off 7,500 people reaching level 4, that's not really a high percentage guarantee they're going to continue playing. However, if you continue to populate the kingdom, you then increase the odds that more players, more likely players, will want to play the game longer. right? It's like the difference between populating a kingdom with 10,000 people, but 7,500 of those people hit level 4, compared to populating the kingdom with like 30,000 people, but only 10,000 of those people hit level 12, right? You're just increasing the likelihood that more players will actually play the game longer because you're continuing to populate the server, factoring in as well for general player drop-off. So that's something I'd like to see going forward. I think that would be a phenomenal change for the game, and I think you would basically eliminate the need to put 5 or more kingdoms into a season 1 plus KvK group. Now let's go to alliances. So for here, I only did a certain amount because I just felt like, well, it started getting below around 600 mil and below, so we kind of stayed around this kind of 650 range and above. So you can see here, right, number 1 alliance, F2P free to play at 2 bill, only alliance over 2 bill for 145. Then we got Arrow, Alice Draconis, 1.6 billion from 153. Number 3 is GTS Black Serpent, 1.60 billion from 148. We have ADH at Uranus, 1.60 billion from 150. Excuse me. We got a second alliance here, KOA King of Abyss, 1.55 bill from 145 as well. We have RL51 Royal Lions, 1.5 bill from 151. MD Mighty Dragons, 1.42 from 154. Then we have HMY Harmony, 1.35 bill, 147. And I think we're getting close here. Yeah, then we got TP The Pinnacle, 1.293 from 152. You got CYBL Chronite Bloods, 1.24 bill from 145. So you got 3 alliances from 145 in the top 9. And I don't think we've done 149 yet. We haven't. So we got GTP, the Red Phoenix, 1.12 billion from 149. And then I think 146 was our last. Yeah, I think so. Then we got TC, the Crusaders, at 1 billion from 146. Right? So you have 10 alliances that make up the top 12. And you have 3 of those alliances in the top 9 from 1 kingdom. Okay, let's go to personal power. Here, we went down to top 33. And also for those wondering, I know I didn't mention this in the beginning, but I will make this sheet available. I'll put it in the pinned comment description of the video. But at the top, you got number 1 strongest players, KOA Sun Wukong, 72 million from 145. Number 2, KOA Rex Ruther, 68.8 million from 145. F2P Baba, 68 million from 145. So you got the top 3 players in the same kingdom. Then we have Adam Cat and GTS at number 4 at 63.8 million from 148. We got HMY's Panda from 58 mil, 147. Then we got GTS Kevin, 56 million, 148. Arrow Dathanesen, probably said that wrong, 54.5 mil, 153. Number 8, free to play Big King, 53.3 million, 145. HMY Kaido, 50.9 million, 147. Number 9. And then number 10, Call, 48 million for 146. This kind of shows you just the top 10, but you guys can look through and see what we have here for the top 33. Kind of see I stopped around 23 mil, going up. If we're averaging around the 43.5 mil for first T5 unlock conservatively, you have 11 players here going into this KvK from 10 kingdoms that are going to have T5, or at least as of me documenting this, which was done 2 days ago. I should have mentioned that as well in the beginning of the video, is that any stats that you see as of now will obviously be stronger. Let's go to T5s unlocked. So you can see here, 145 with 4 T5s unlocked, 147 with 2, 148 with 2, 146 with 1, 151, 153, 1, and then 149, 51, 52, and 54 with 0. Then let's get to Castle 25s. Castle 25s, we have 145 is 13, 148, 13, so kind of even-ish there, 146, 12. And you have double 9s for 147, 150, 8 for 152, 7, 153, 6, 149, and then 5s for 151 and 154. Now let's take a look at some bubble boards. You guys know me, I love my bubble boards. So here we have these ranked already in order. You can see that 145 pretty much taking the top spot and everything, right? Their number 200 player is almost double that of 148. You can see personal merits. They've either just been doing a lot more fighting or more organized PvP. So you can see that is what? That's like, geez, almost times 10, times 9 probably. And then you have 145 here on RSS gathered. That's almost times 3. And then when you look at Dragon Trail, right, you kind of have this cluster here of around 223 to kind of 210. Even though this isn't too far apart, I mean, really, you're talking about 25 stars between 2 and 10 for the kingdoms there. But then you have this big jump of 50 points by 145. So again, you have to think about that for those 200 plus players, even probably beyond 200 as well, where they're just getting all that extra EXP, all that extra prestige, right? That's factoring in as well. So this just kind of shows you the ranks, right? Bottom of the bubble, right? You got 4.12 million for number 200 player on the personal power merits, 16K to 69. So it's not too, it's not too high in reality. RSS gathered as well. And to me, these are things when I look at these, like when I look at the number 200 position data, to me, this only further makes our point that we were talking about earlier, which is that these kingdoms are not being populated enough, right, in the beginning. It's almost as though they're trying to get new kingdoms out too fast instead of taking their time and really making sure that the kingdoms are being populated. This, to me, is such an important thing when you're playing a kingdom builder, because it also will directly impact the rate of player drop-off from one aspect, which is, well, if you're in a kingdom that doesn't seem as though it's incredibly healthy, or you maybe only have 1 or 2 alliances there that are really breaking out, that can be a turnoff for some people and can cause players to potentially stop playing, already plan to migrate out, or just restart their accounts. So it is important that kingdoms are populated appropriately. And this, to me, is such a big, without redundantly, it is a level of importance, let me say, that needs to be taken more seriously, in my opinion. So hopefully this is something that the devs will address. Okay, now finally, let's end this with our group pairings, right? So you guys know me, love my sheets. So, and I probably should have updated this. This should actually be saying 22. There we go. And I don't know if I updated the other ones. Oh, I did say 22. Lovely. So you can see here, right? This is kind of what we did for our. Now this is going to be kind of the same total power range. Range will be there. But the big thing here is this is the power differential between 145 between number 1 and number 10. Right? So you have 4.67 billion. That's pretty wide, obviously, in the gap. You can see here when we kind of look at T5s unlocked. Oops, hang on. I think I was supposed to color code these with like a red fill. I can't remember what we did last time here. So, yeah, I guess we'll just do that. And then these will be red. Maybe I'll just do orange or something. I'll switch that up. But we'll just do this for now. So, yeah, let's see. Can we make this look a little cleaner? Okay, that looks dope. So anyways, this is kind of where we're at. I wonder if that would look just as good. Let's see. Okay, whatever, kind of. But point here being is that you can see 145 kind of at the top of the boards. 148 does tie them in C25s. But then obviously you can kind of see, we already kind of showed you some of the bubble position. So this isn't really anything new. Probably only unique piece of data here is just the range that you're seeing. But where I'm going with this, which I've already said twice now, is I just hope that this is something that we don't see that often. Because to me, when I look at a lot of kingdom data, this is a turnoff, right? This is not what I would consider to be a good thing. I would never come out and say like, oh my God, this is so awful, right? How dare the devs do this? This is more about looking at objective data and talking about and understanding how the data is arriving here, which we did explain, and then talking about what are solutions, right? So we can be right, kind of action, solution driven, instead of just talking about the kind of the complaints or the feedback itself, right? It's important that we try to come up with solutions so that way we can at least present ideas that could potentially be considered. So for me, this is what I hope. Now, again, with all that being said, I'd love to hear your thoughts, right? What do you guys think about this KvK group with them doing 10? We've only seen this one time before with 11 through 21. There's never been a big KvK group like this that's gone into S1 Plus outside of the one we just mentioned. So do you agree with me on where I'm going with that? Do you disagree? Do you have a different viewpoint as well? When it comes to kingdom populations, do you not have a problem with more than 4 kingdoms or 5 or more kingdoms getting put into a Season 1 Plus KvK or even future KvK groups? Right? Let me know anything and everything you're thinking in the comments down below. That is going to do it for me. As always, until next time, I will catch you later.